Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So today's story time, man, today's story time is a crazy one. I think you guys will enjoy it. It's about school, specifically a teacher, and how she tried to screw me over a little bit, and she got fired for it. So I hope you enjoy this story time. Leave a like on the video if you do, and let's jump into this. So today's story time all takes place in freshman year of high school, ninth grade. I was having a nice, normal freshman year. Things were going pretty good for me. And then one day, I got this new teacher. So about halfway through ninth grade, I walk into school, start my school day as usual, and then I get to my third period class, which was science at the time, or earth science, whatever it was, and my teacher was randomly changed to this woman. It was a guy originally, now it was a girl, and she seemed somewhat cool. I couldn't really get a good reading off only one class with her, but she seemed okay. But about, 4 classes later, I would come to realize that she was not very cool. So this all starts off as a normal day. I wake up, I get up out of bed, I take a shower, brush my teeth, whatever, get ready for my day. And I can't lie, on this morning, I was actually a little bit happier than usual. Most mornings when I wake up for school, my face only says dead inside on it. But on this day, I was actually pretty happy because the day before, my grandma just gave me $1,000. Yeah, when you're in ninth grade, if you get $1,000, that's like $1,000,000 to anybody else, right? Now you're probably like, Austin, why the fuck did your grandma give you $1,000? Like, you're in ninth grade. Why do you need $1,000? Well, my grandma missed my birthday and she forgot about it. So she decided to just give me $1,000 randomly. And I was stoked on it. $1,000 in cash? Hell yeah. Shove that shit in my backpack and go on with my day. So yeah, on this day I was pretty excited because after school was over, I was going to go to the mall with a few friends of mine and spend some of that money. So I was stoked. And I brought the money with me to school just so I can go straight to the mall afterwards. Me and my friends were going to walk there. So yeah, I get to school. I have my $1,000 in the front pocket of my backpack. And before I continue on with the story, I just have to say, don't bring $1,000 cash to school with you. Dumbest idea I've probably ever had because, well, some people at school aren't very trustworthy. And if you bring $1,000 to school, someone might try and steal it. And yeah, if you do bring money to school, just don't tell anyone you have it because some people you can't trust. Anyway, continuing on, I get to school, my day starts off as normal, the money was just sitting in the front pocket of my backpack, and then fast forward to my third period science class, I get to class, I sit down, my table was in the very back of the classroom, and I'm just sitting there doing my work. The bell rings, class starts, I was just sitting there doing my thing, having a nice normal class. And then fast forward to the end of class, the bell rings and my teacher keeps us. This lady keeps us behind after the bell rings so she can give us some big speech about how we have a very important test coming up and how we all need to study and blah, 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 right? Her speech ends up lasting like 2.5 minutes, which is cutting it very close to like the 3 or 4 minutes we had to get to class. So I freaked out because my class, after this one, was on the complete other side of the building of my school and on a different floor. My next class was on the second floor. My science class was on the first floor. So yeah, at this point, I was almost guaranteed to be late to this next class. And the teacher I had in that next class was a bit of a dickhead. And he didn't like me being late. So I knew for a fact I was probably going to get detention or some shit. So I'm like, okay, please hurry up. Please hurry up. And finally, she finishes her speech. I get up and I run out of the door so fast, not even thinking, that I left my backpack behind. I put my backpack on like the air conditioning unit right next to my table. And I completely just didn't think about it. I got up and I ran out the door and I ran all the way to my other class. And luckily I got there on time. I wasn't late, which was nice, so my teacher didn't give me detention. But I had an even bigger problem now. Right after I walked into class, I realized that I left my backpack in that other classroom, my science class. And it also has $1,000 in it, which means if some nosy ass kid wants to, he can grab that backpack and search it, and if he finds that $1,000, I'm probably gonna get robbed. So I immediately raise my hand right after class starts, and I tell my teacher like, hey, I left my backpack in my other class, can I go run and get it? And he's like, yes, Austin, be quick. So I get up, I run out of that class as fast as I can, I run downstairs, and I run to my earth science class, and I knock on the door, and my teacher opens it, and she's like, Austin, what are you doing here? And I was like, hey, I left my backpack in here. Do you have it? She goes, no, I don't have it. And I look at the very back of the room where I sit, like where my table is. And on that air conditioning unit, my backpack's just gone. It's just not there. And I start freaking out. I'm like, oh no, someone stole it. Like shit. So I look at my teacher and I'm like, listen, please, please, please look around this room right now for my backpack. Like, there's money in it. There's valuable stuff in it. I need that backpack. And she goes, Austin, how much money is in it? And I was like, a lot. And she's like, okay, like I'll look out for it. And I was like, all right, thank you so much. So after that, I go upstairs back to my class. I walk in. My teacher immediately starts busting my balls about how I don't have my backpack. He's like, Austin, where's your backpack? I thought you just went to get it. I was like, yep, someone probably stole it. It's not in there. And he's like, oh, okay, well, here's the paper for today. So I grab the paper, I go back to my table and just sadly sit down and continue on with my school day. Now fast forward to the end of the school day, I get through all my classes, it's the end of the day, and the first thing I do when that bell rings is not run to my locker, not run to my bus. I run full speed to my earth science classroom and start knocking on the door to see if my teacher found my backpack. And I was just hoping, just so hopeful that she might have it. So she opens up the door and she goes, hey Austin, what's up? I was like, did you find my backpack? She goes, no, unfortunately I didn't. And I was like, are you serious? And she's like, yeah, I'm so sorry. And then out of the corner of my eye, right after she says, I'm so sorry, I can see a little piece of my backpack poking out from behind her desk, or at least what looked like my backpack. It had one of the same straps. So I quickly walk past her and I walk up to this backpack and I point at it and I was like, what's this? And she goes, oh, I don't know who put that there. And I was like, this is my backpack. Like, I'm sure of it. And immediately I kneel down and I unzip the front pocket to see if it is mine. And guess what's in there? Everything that I own except my $1,000. Literally, all my pencils, my pencil case, everything's in there except my $1,000. And I look at her and she looks at me and she has this guilty look on her face. And I'm like, where's my $1,000? Like, why is this under your desk and where's my money? And she starts crying immediately. Tears start coming down her face. And she's like, Austin, I'm sorry. I'm having a really bad day. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry to hear that. But like, do you know where my money is? Because my backpack was hiding under your desk and my money's missing. Like, it was just obvious at this point that she probably took it because she was crying. My backpack was hiding under her desk when she was telling me she didn't know where it was. And yeah, my money was missing. And she just immediately comes out and says it. She goes, I'm so sorry, like, I took it. And she pulls it out of her back pocket, just sitting right in her back pocket. She pulls it out. And she goes, I'm so sorry, Austin. Like, here, take it. Please don't tell anyone about this. And I was like, did you really try to rob me? One of your students, you just tried to rob. And she's like, I know, like, I'm not proud of it, but, like, I don't make a lot at this job. And, like, I don't know what I was thinking. And don't get me wrong. Teachers are underpaid. I agree that they're not paid well. But you shouldn't be robbing your students. So I told her that. I was like, listen, I get it. Teachers are underpaid, but like you can't steal from your students. That's messed up. And she's like, I know, like, I'm sorry, I'll be better. And I just ignored her. I put my backpack on, put my $1,000 in my pocket, and I walked out of there and I ignored her because I was pissed off, frankly. Like, she robbed me. That ain't cool. And I went upstairs and I snitched on her. I don't give a fuck. Like, I've literally caught teachers doing so much shit at my school. I've caught teachers smoking weed in the parking lot. I've caught teachers smoking cigs on school campus. Like, I've caught them doing shit, and I've never told on them. But the minute a teacher tries to literally steal from me, like, out of my backpack and then lie to me, that's where I draw the line. So, yeah, I went upstairs and I told my vice principal about it, and she told me that she'll look into it. And literally the next day, I walked into school, and that teacher was gone. I checked her room, missing. And I went upstairs and I asked my vice principal about it. And I was like, what happened to her? And she goes, oh, well, she admitted to stealing from you. We fired her. I was like, are you serious? She admitted it? And she's like, yeah. I was like, holy shit. So yeah, I guess my vice principal just straight up asked her if she stole from me. And my teacher was just like, yep, I did. And she got fired for it. And for some reason, a part of me felt bad about it. But then I remembered the fact that she was literally going to steal my $1,000 from me. So I didn't feel too bad. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of that. That teacher was gone from that school forever. It's probably a good thing in the end because who knows if she would have tried to steal from any other students or if she stole from anybody else before me. But that's pretty much that. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Moral of the story is don't steal from people. That's fucked up. If you enjoyed this story time, leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys all later. Peace.
You be wanting to fight when I pull up, you see it's like, oh shit. Cut all these ties cause they plan my demise. They all snakes and I think it's been showing. I got some issues, they haunting me daily, I'm losing